This man spent the first 10 years of a stellar 15-year NFL career with a fellow Michigan man for 4 of them in New England. He is Ty Law here on The Rich Eisen Show, a leader, and Victor Valiant, to say the least. How are you, Ty?
What's going on, Rich? How you doing, bro?
It is better.
Go blue.
Go blue right back at you, Ty. When you think of Brady versus Manning, you think of what, Ty?
I think of an era, legends. I think the best that ever done it, in my opinion. I know that is going to be up for debate, but for those two to be playing against each other I know it's in the teens by now, and to be in the championship game and going to win the Super Bowl, because they're definitely going down as two of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. And I'm just happy to be a part of that. Of playing with and against, two of the great ones that ever done it.
So we had Adam Vinatieri on in the first hour, and he mentioned how Belichick always had something cooked up for Peyton Manning. What specifically did he always have cooked up for Peyton, or maybe even just this weekend, that confuses him, from your perspective?
Well, I think just the movement. I think people put more into it than what it is and what Belichick is coming up with. It's all about the players at the end of the day, and if Coach Belichick trusts you to go out there and do the job. And it was all about movement, because at the end of the day, the defense call is what the defense was called. But we made it look more complicated, to the average person, because we did a lot of movement. A safety going to corner rolling the safety, linebackers dropping down. We just moved a lot because Peyton does so much at the line of scrimmage to buy time for himself, that we was just trying to, do the same thing to him so he wouldn't get a grasp on what we was doing. But at the end of the day, the coverage was what it was. We just made it look like that.
3-time Super Bowl champion Ty Law joining me here on The Rich Eisen Show. And I asked Adam about this. I might as well ask you about it, too. The moment when Tom Brady became your starter, out of the blue, and what it was like on the team at that point in time, where you're turning things over to a relative newbie in Tom Brady. Ty, what was it like?
I mean, we had a good feeling about him, as long as he knew how to manage the game. They weren't asking of Tom. We weren't asking of Tom to go out there and do what he's doing today. I mean, we were a defensive-led team at the time, and the majority of the leaders outside of Drew Bledsoe was on the defensive side of the ball. Those were all the voices. I mean, we were the strength of the team. So Tom, he didn't have to take on as much responsibility and win games for us at the time. If you think about it, he probably never played from behind in his whole first year. As soon as it took to him, he never had to play from behind.
Was Peyton Manning the best quarterback you ever had to play against?
Yes, he was. He was. I mean, because he will give you opportunities. Don't get me wrong, because he trusts himself and he's going to throw the ball. And I was, fortunately and unfortunately, always matched up against his primary target. But you had to come in that game ready to play. A lot of times I would go into games that I pretty much knew I wasn't going to get an opportunity, or I knew the quarterback wouldn't throw the ball. That was definitely not the case with Peyton. So you had to prepare, because he's trying to study you and find every weakness that he can, and you had to return the favor, or you're going to be up on the other end of the highlights all day.
Well,
and have to live through that for a week.
Yeah, well, but you're hearing what people are saying right now about him, that he's not the same guy, that he's at the end of his career, that this is it for him, or should be it for him. What do you think when you see the current version of Peyton Manning?
You know what? Everyone is going to slow down at some point. Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Joe Montana, Dan Marino, you think about all the great ones. They cannot sustain that level of play but for so long. But you're talking about one game. And Peyton Manning is the type of player, for one game, he can give you all he got. And if you're asking him to do it over 16 games again, no, of course, anybody's going to slow down. But for one game, I wouldn't count that man out, especially knowing he's going out. So he's gonna go out there and play hard or die trying. So I wouldn't bet against him, just because of his lack of arm strength that people say he has now, because of his age, the injuries, things catching up to him. And this is one game. Like I said, if you ask me this, in week one, okay, I can understand where it's going. But you're talking about one game. Same thing with Tom Brady. This is one game. Who would you rather have at quarterback? It's all a matter of opinion. Of course, I'm biased to Tom Brady because of the success that I've had with him and what I see. He's still playing at a high level. But this is one game, Rich, so I don't buy his age or anything like that. I mean, he's trying to go down swinging, so you can expect the best from him.
Yeah, and I'm on the phone with Ty Law here on the Rich Eisen Show, but Brady's not slowing down at all. I mean, he's 38. He's playing, when you say a high level, he's playing at the highest level, at a very high level right now. And I'm wondering, do you think, because you know him, you've known him about how fire that burns within and that he still wears the badge of being 199th overall. And even, you know, I had Lloyd Carr on the show last December. He still even probably wears all of whatever was going on in Ann Arbor, how he was splitting time with Drew Henson. He still wears all that. Do you think at all that he would be receiving a Lombardi trophy from Commissioner Roger Goodell if he wins his next two games? Do you think any of that plays into Tom Brady's thinking, Ty?
Oh, absolutely, especially after going through all the drama this past offseason. So this is a revenge season. I don't care if Tom wants to admit it or not. You know what I mean? He's loving the fact that he's able to come out there and be one game away from the Super Bowl and vindicate himself from all the accusations and things like that. I mean, you coming from Michigan, had to play split time there. You know, people say he got the job by default because Drew got hurt. So, of course, he's going to use all that, you know, to strengthen his will to go out there and prove everybody wrong again. And I don't blame him. I would do the same thing. And Tom, you know, for one game right now, I can see him being back in the Super Bowl again, you know, to rub it in everybody's faces. I mean, I just seen something where he was the most hated athlete, superstar athlete. I mean, that's crazy. How could you hate a man like that? I mean, so you don't think that he reads that? He's going to go out there and do what he does and win again and let you hate some more.
Ty Law here on the Rich Eisen Show. We're talking about it too, Ty. Anytime I see a flag on the play of somebody who touches somebody on the other side of the field, far away from the play, I think of you because you changed the rules doing what you did against Bill Polian's team. Right, Ty? Am I wrong?
Well, that's what they say. So that's what I got to be remembered by. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Well, I remember you for different things, but
right. But you know what? I mean, that's the way that I was taught to play the game. That's the way we played in New England, and you know, I'm glad to be a part of that one. You know what I mean? At first it was the Mel Blunt rule. Now the Ty Law rule. So I guess it's a good thing. When you look at it, I guess it's a sign of respect, and I guess you could say you changed the game in somewhat. But I really don't know if I can play in today's game because man, they playing flag football out there right now.
Is that what you think, Ty?
I think they playing flag football. It's not. It doesn't make sense whatsoever.
Well, I mean, it does seem like you know, if it's 5 yards plus 1 foot and you're touching somebody, a flag comes out. It does appear that way to me, Ty. And usually on third down.
Yeah, it's watering down the game, especially on you know, third down when it's so close and as big as and strong as the wide receivers are today, the Rob Gronkowski, they push off constantly. But I do understand the business aspect of it. They want to put points on the board. That's what the fans come to see. But that also should put a premium on the defenders that go out there and do their jobs well. You know what I mean? But it's just the game is being watered down, you know, so much. And I understand protecting the players, but that has nothing to do with protecting the player when they're doing that whole 5-yard thing. That's about putting points on the board and making the advantage go to the offense.
Well,
I don't care what they say in the rules committee.
What did you hear? What did you think of? What did you think of Chris Harris Jr. saying we go low on Gronk? That's how I take him down. What did you make of that conversation, Ty?
You know what is even though you don't want to see anybody get hurt, are you going to go up high on Rob Gronkowski? If he outweighs you by 50, 60 pounds, nobody's going to go up there and hit him high. So that's the risk that you take from an organization, knowing that. I mean, you can't go up there because you put yourself at a major disadvantage if you're going to try to hit him high. So in order not to hurt yourself, you have to go low on Rob Gronkowski. And if I was on the other side, to be honest with you, I would have to go down and take his legs out as well. I mean, you can't run without your legs. That's what it's about, tackling. Or you want to get ran over and him score a touchdown. You know what I mean? So Chris Harris, he didn't say anything that was wrong, because you talk to 95% of the DBs that has any sense, you ain't going to go low on Rob Gronkowski. You go up there and try to hit him high, you're going to get ran over, and everybody's going to be calling you, texting you with memes, on your text message. Are you getting your ass ran over?
Last one for you, Ty Law. Do you see what Harbaugh's doing at Michigan? He's recruiting guys by climbing trees and hanging on couches, watching movies with them. You see what he's doing?
Hey, man, I love it. I mean, how many coaches, you can hang out with like that? I mean, so, he's getting a lot of flack for it, but if you get him to sign and you don't do nothing illegal, you ain't passing no money across the table, and you making those guys feel comfortable and they welcome you into the house, so be it. As long as you stay within the rules, hey, we trying to win.
Yeah, here we come. I mean, that Michigan State loss, though, that was brutal. I mean, Ohio State goes without saying, but the whole thing, the whole year was fantastic. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, yeah, it was fantastic. I don't think anyone had those expectations so early, but he done set the bar high. So, hey, Jim, we expecting big things. We expecting to compete for the national championship now. We was going to give you a year or two, to get your guys in, but he done such a great job that we're expecting even more this year, man. So I think he's going to be around here a long time. He's going to get some of the top recruits because of his history with great players, now being successful in the NFL, having his relationships with the NFL, and that all means something to a young recruit coming out of high school. If I go to this head coach, he knows how to get me to my dream, which is the next level, and it's just an assumption that he knows who to call. He can make a phone call, and I'm on the roster. I mean, that's just how we think is dumb, wet behind the ears young bucks trying to chase a dream.
Ty, great chatting with you, man. I miss talking to you. Come down in the studio when you're in L.A. Let me know when you're in town, okay?
Oh, absolutely, man. Thanks, Rich.
You bet. That's Ty Law, 3-time Super Bowl champion, 2 years in a row, semifinalist for the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. On Audience.